Welcome to Fiends episode 10. I'm Ringo, and joining me as always,
LazySilver. Welcome everybody.
And today we dove back into the Division 2.
Ah, yes.
There was the big Summit update that just came out last week or the week before. I think 2 weeks ago. We wanted to check it out, which is basically the Diablo 3 Greater Rift kinda ish. Their take on it, where you're in a skyscraper and you have to clear 100 floors.
It reminds me of Underground, but up.
And way longer.
Right.
Above her ground.
Above her ground?
Yeah, it's above her ground. So every 10 floors you get a boss, and I think it's we only did 20 or so levels. We just checked out. We're gonna go more into it this week to really give it the proper review it deserves. AKA, we were not on the hardest difficulty because we haven't played in so long. Our gear sets kind of sucked ass. So we have.
I had kind of fun with Strikers and Pestilence. That was a good
Strikers
time.
and Pestilence is good, but our pieces aren't rolled that great. You know what I mean? So.
But we were just rocking challenging.
Yeah, so we need to crank that up and see if it still has the classic Division problems of nothing wants to die and everything is now just NFL prodigy quarterback able to hit you from any angle with a grenade and one tap you on the hardest difficulty, in which I have a feeling is probably still there. Just from some of the shots that I had landed on me I didn't die, but just some of the shots that were landed on me on heroic difficulty or on challenging difficulty.
I also think the range of shotgun dudes is still way too long.
It's always going to be. They're not as bad as D1, though.
At certain points, correct.
So yeah, every 10 floors you get a boss. I think starting at floor, it's either 60 or 70, you get 2 bosses. And then at level 90, you get 3. So that's where, and then level 100 is all grayed out, with a jammer on the details if you look on the elevator. So that's probably a big rogue agent floor, with hunters and stuff.
That would make sense. We didn't really run into the hunters. I did like those special loot crates they had in there. Those were pretty cool.
Those were pretty sweet. Those should out loot.
You had to grab a key for them and then find a big loot crate. They were pretty neat.
But what the main meta is, everybody is getting a character, and because your lockout's character dependent, and they're just getting to floor 90 and then switching to another character. And holding the lockout, and they just clear floor 90 over and over.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me any. I think I said something to that effect in the last episode, if I remember right. But
yeah, well, that's just with Div 2 especially, with the invaded missions and stuff, that's still a viable thing. It's not needed now like it was when the game first came out to level up your specializations, because you get 3 every time you level now.
Right.
So, I don't know. I thought it felt a lot better than the last time.
The last time we played.
Yeah, the last time we played, everything was really. Same. Falling in the same mistakes that early Div 1 made. Everything's a bullet sponge, and
they dish out way too much damage.
Yeah, red bar health mobs are just smoking you. So it didn't feel as bad this time.
It definitely didn't feel bad as Tier 4 checkpoints did.
Yeah, targeted
when we
loot.
were playing last.
Targeted loot feels a lot better. Gear sets are everywhere.
The targeted loot actually felt pretty amazing to me. There was a pretty good quantity, even on the low floors.
Well, it's real. Well, I'm talking global targeted loot, where you can't specify it. Each zone has its own targeted loot.
Oh, I was just talking about the Summit targeted loot. That was freaking sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Because that just craps out whatever you're looking for.
But if you remember, the last time we played, you could only get gear sets from the raid or the Cassie vendor, and then some strongholds would have it.
Right. They really opened up the sources of it, which feels very good. Which, if you think about it, other games do that too, right?
Right. So that felt better. The new zoo stronghold was pretty sweet. We haven't played in forever. I don't even know how new that was.
How was that at night?
Oh yeah. Fuck. I got a bug on mine where it put me in uber dark mode, had stars and constellations up in the sky, and some of the firefights I couldn't see shit. It's I was in Nam,
Meanwhile, we're in the fire team, and I'm seeing it in perfect broad daylight with absolutely no issues.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking spicy. And it never cleared for me. It was just pitch black the entire time, but we got her done. I forgot about that actually. So yeah, I did some solo stuff where I was just doing level 3 control points just to test and see how they feel, and I soloed all of them with no problem. Whereas before, like, you really had to fucking, even on a tier 3 alert level, you had to really fucking hunker down.
You had to bust a little bit. Yeah.
So I don't know. We're gonna play it more this week and see.
I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
From what we played, we only played for like a few hours, but it was at least fun to jump back into Division 2 for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I think we're gonna do a Christmas episode this year where we reinstall Division 1 and go back to Christmas time New York, and I got a feeling that's gonna make us really fucking hate Division 2.
I don't think it'll make us hate it, but I don't know. Division 2 feels good as long as you don't crank it up, I guess.
It feels better if you have the game and you put it down for a while. I'd say it's probably at least worth checking back out.
At least for an afternoon, at the very least.
Player base feels like it's way down, though. I tried to matchmake for some stuff earlier today, and it just sat there forever.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that much. So yeah, if you get a couple of friends you jumped into with it early and haven't played in a while, it's a pretty decent shot to jump back in. The amount of loot it dumps out, Summit dumps out, really reminds me of what you could get out of the Horde mode near the end of Division 1.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can set that and say, hey, I want that to be this type of gear is really nice.
Yeah, in Summit you can pick whatever you want for your targeted loot, which is cool. You can pick, like, I need assault rifles or any kind of gun type, or I want knee pads, which can be, you have a chance, at exotic or just yellow, or set pieces. If you want cat girls, you can specify cat girls, and then they start dropping. And that's really made the game in a better place, honestly.
We going back to cat girls make everything better?
And, I'm waiting for, proof that they don't.
Fair.
So...
Fair. We can't prove it or disprove it at this
That's
point,
just what I leave my loot on all the time. It's just
cat girls.
Nothing but fucking cat girls.
I grabbed, I had mine flipped between a couple of different new sets that I hadn't tried out. So I got like 4 pieces of the Hunter set. So I'm looking forward to try that out.
Yeah, I want to try some of the new gear sets out too.
But yeah, those look, the mods on them look pretty cool. They introduced a whole bunch of new brands, at least since the last time I had played for the yellows.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 new brand sets, it feels like.
And those seem like they had pretty good bonuses on them from the ones I read.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's at least in a lot better shape than it was.
Right. So yeah, like I said, we'll play it more this week, and we'll have our final thoughts on it next week. So Destiny 2 news, we're getting close to Beyond Light. What are we? We're
2 weeks out?
Yeah, I think we're 2 weeks out tomorrow, which means we only have 2 TWABs left.
On the top of Destiny's site, it says on November 10th, Destiny content vaulting begins.
Yep. So yeah, we got 2 weeks. So if there's any titles you're close to, go knock that shit out. Any exotics you need to farm, Anarchy, anything like that going in the vault.
Or if you're like me and you're still farming your characters up from 750 to 1050, better get back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been slacking the last few days.
So the TWAB this last week, auto rifles, the 600 RPM frames got nerfed. Damage buff this season was pretty big. And what was it? They buffed it by 2?
They buffed it by 2 damage per bullet and going into this season. And then they nerfed that down, basically that buff down to just 0.5. So they nerfed them by 1.5 from the current season, but it's still stronger than they used to be.
So they're still, I don't know how they're going to feel in PvE, because now they're going to have to compete with submachine guns again. Like the Ikelos SMG version 2 is pretty fucking strong.
Yeah, I think Gnawing Hunger should still be really, that's the one I've been using a bunch of.
That's the one everybody's using.
That thing's amazing. But even with that nerf, the Ikelos V2 is pretty fun too.
They're gonna, it's gonna be. I mean, this whole TWAB was pretty much a Crucible sandbox tuning, even though it says it's a PvE sandbox tuning.
Which is what me made made me kind of laugh about it.
Auto rifles are still going to be a huge fucking problem in PvP just because you can get up to like, without hardly any investment, you can get up to holding 60 rounds in one, and they didn't nerf the range fall off at all. So you're going to still be able to fucking smoke people with them in PvP.
It's why I kind of like them a little bit better over the SMGs, is just because they do have that higher
Oh,
range.
yeah, in PvP for sure.
Even in PvE, I don't know. I guess I have a little bit more stand backish play style than a lot of people.
Yeah, but if you can kill something in twice the speed, you can run up there.
Right. I don't know. I just prefer to keep my distance from mobs because most times when I tend to die is when I get a little frisky, shall we say, on my placement of my character.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. I tend to stay back more, so I enjoy auto rifles a little bit more. It feels like Destiny is kind of balanced now that you can kind of run whatever kind of gun your bounties allow you to, I guess.
Yeah, fucking this week.
Still make progress.
This week they're supposed to be talking about bounties and shit, so
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a make or break TWAB in my opinion, because they better not do like any stupid shit. Because there ain't nothing more that pisses me off as I log in. It's like, well, you need to level up your season pass to get these exclusive guns that you already fucking paid for, and it's like, get 10 kills with a pulse rifle and a fucking sidearm, and what else? A shitty fusion rifle.
Linear fusion rifle.
Yeah, linear fusion rifle. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Don't tell me how to play the fucking game. Let me play the fucking game.
I wouldn't mind it if it was much more general, right? Like if it was just like go out and get a bunch of precision kills,
or even you
kill things with kinetic weapons.
Okay. Yeah, say solar. Like pick a subclass. I don't give a fuck about that. That's whatever. Like there's a gun I like of every subclass, every element type.
Right. It's just when they get into specifics of
yeah, it's fucking dumb. I don't like it. I hate it.
I hate spending the time rooting through my collection to find one I can pull out.
Yeah, it's it's garbage. It's a garbage idea. But the other thing that's gonna make auto rifles still fucking really strong in PvP is all the hand cannon changes. So 110s are now 120s, so they're gonna have a little bit more rate of fire and more range. So I don't know if that's enough to save them. It might be because all 150s are now 140s. So your dire promise, spare rations, all these meta picks that were 150s are now getting rolled down into 140s. However, that does make from the math I saw someone post, if you have a Thorn, which is a 150 currently, rolled down to a 140, and you have the Soul Devourer buff that you get from killing somebody, it should be a 2-shot headshot kill regardless of resilience of your opponent.
Pretty cool. Wasn't there one they weren't changing? Sunshot?
Sunshot is the only 150 left in existence.
I've always kind of liked Sunshot.
Yeah, Sunshot's sweet, especially Masterwork. The thing has like shit ton of range.
I just got my Masterwork for it this past week, and I was pretty pumped about that.
Hell yeah. So yeah, Thorn's going to be really good. Ace of Spades is probably going to see a comeback. Even with the Memento Mori nerf that it got like a year and a half ago.
I always thought Ace was fun.
So yeah, that's the hand cannons. That's going to be pretty interesting. Rocket launcher's got to change where they can hold more in reserves, but they still can only hold one in the shell, which is they need to let them hold at least fucking 2 if they want them to be used. No one's going to use them. Why would I use a rocket launcher ever if I could just put Anarchy or 1K or
Hammerhead or a sword?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the other thing. They nerfed Falling Guillotine's heavy attack by 24%.
It'll still be a little above average on all the other swords. But
well, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Little above average.
Little above average. I mean, my Guardian is reanimated by Space Jesus, and I'm like the chosen one to change the city. Super strong. Don't even talk. Like I'm so badass. I've only said like 3 lines my entire 7 years in existence in Destiny and Destiny 2, and like I have a slightly above average sword. Fuck yeah, let's go get it done. Thanks, Space Jesus. That really makes me feel fucking good for grinding out a god roll on that. Like, meanwhile, like, Falling Guillotine gets 1 season in the sun, and like Mountaintop's just now getting nerfed. That's only been a 2-year just Crucible curb stomp. Put your teeth on the fucking curb. Here it comes on the back of your head. And
you should know.
Yeah, well, hey, okay. Yeah,
I only see it equipped on you always.
No, on PvE always. But yeah, that's Mountaintop's finally getting nerfed. It needs to. It's because
It's been always one of my. Well, yeah, you have to keep in mind I completely suck at PvP, but that's been always one of my bitches. Is Mountaintop is an amazing gun that I can't get because I'm not good enough at PvP.
Well, yeah, it's not even a good enough thing. It's just a mindlessly doing grenade launcher shit in Crucible,
which isn't as bad if you can use Wither Horde now. But before that,
no, you just do momentum control and you put on a colony because heavy ammo's up every 10 seconds.
Oh, that's fair.
And then you have little robot spiders go out and like you get
murder everybody.
Yeah, you get just constant kills with it. But yeah, I don't like that PvP pinnacle. That's that they moved away from pinnacles after the Recluse. Now they have like ritual weapons, which are basically like a real lackluster Handy J. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, I guess it's better than not having it done.
Hey, maybe if you had an above average sword, you'd get better than mediocre Handy J.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But Space Jesus giveth, Space Jesus taketh away.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a new VDoc tomorrow that Bungie's releasing at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Which is supposed to definitely have to take a look at that.
Yeah, so maybe Space Jesus might be healed. Evil Doritos might be like making a move. Who knows?
Which might come from the moon. I'm with you.
Yeah, you don't know that wizard came from the moon. These are space Doritos. They come from the bag of space.
Fair enough.
And Taco Bell.
Bag's half full when you open it.
Well, yeah, that's what caused the Big Bang. Was that? That's why.
It's the other part of the bag, right? It's just Doritos and darkness.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what the other half of the bag is. So, yeah, I don't know. I with how much bosses fucking stomp the ground, like they're trying to relive the Broadway musical Stomp. Every time I even get within 25 yards, I don't feel they needed to nerf. Just let us have swords for another season, man. That are like good.
I just really enjoyed the swords on like the yellow bars, right? Like you're cruising through a strike, you hit a mini boss, you bust out the sword, you get through that shit pretty fast.
And I think that's still probably going to be a thing for strikes. Like I'm sure Falling Guillotine's still going to be like fine, but I don't know. It was nice to have swords feel relevant for literally the first. When did this game come out? 2017,
something like that.
For the first time ever. And they only get like a couple months. Just kind of sucks. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. It was pretty lackluster TWAB, honestly. Like, there was no PvE things. There was nothing about ammo generation for doing like raids and stuff. So, like, before, most of that shit was off of the armament mods, the Hive, Taken, and Fallen mods.
Right.
Where you kill one of those types, and if you have the matching mod in, if you kill one with a grenade, it gives you heavy ammo back. And then if you break a shield on the same type of mob, it gives you your grenade back so you can generate heavy ammo. Well, those mods are being retired.
They haven't announced anything to replace them.
Yeah, so now it's just, like...
You're at the luck of the heavy ammo RNG.
Well, what it's making me feel like, and I have very, very severe flashbacks to this, is playing Frost Mage in a WoW, where you're just fucking fishing for Fingers of Frost and for a proc, and that's what it's gonna feel like. I mean, I remember I had a weak aura that was a fucking frowny face with a number next to it on how many frost bolts you would cast until you got a Fingers of Frost proc, and then it would turn into a smiley face. And like, I'd routinely hit like 12 or 13. Bitch, this ain't vanilla. I don't want to be casting Frostbolt for a fucking hour over here. Give me chili fingies.
Want that heavy ammo?
Yeah, give me chili fingies and heavy ammo. So yeah, I hope they address that, because like that's a thing. And me and my buddies are we're trying to do the 24-hour raid emblem this time. And obviously we're not like the goal is not world first. I mean, that'd be sweet, but like that's like a 0.01% chance. But to the guilds that are like full of the super sweaty like 24/7 Destiny pro streamers or whatever you want to call them, that heavy ammo being completely RNG can make or break a world first attempt.
Oh sure, like if you just get, think of it like getting mana screwed in Magic, right?
Yeah, well, on an attempt, you could have a clan get to like 44% and they wipe, right? Like the boss was real low, but like everybody was out of juice. And then the clan that's right on their ass just had heavy brick shitting out for like 3 or 4 people. And then they go into smoke at the next kill just because they had purple bricks. They had purple pixels appear on the screen,
I would like to see them do something like all mini bosses and yellow bars drop purple bricks or something, like some way to make it so they can almost pace it.
I think there should just be a pity timer.
That's another way to pace it. I'm with you.
I think
if there was some sort of like fail safe to where you can't get more unlucky than this.
Yeah, if you haven't had a heavy brick drop in 2 minutes, the next mob you kill drops a heavy brick.
Or whatever numbers they decide to come up with.
But
base it on the number of mobs you kill. You at least get 1 heavy brick every 50 mobs.
I don't think you can do it that way because like there's some raid encounter fights where like you're not killing mobs.
They can tweak it by raid encounter. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be set.
No. I mean, there's like in Garden of Salvation, there's a fight where like if you're on the boss team, you're killing maybe like 8 mobs the whole fucking time. Like 3 people are killing 8 mobs apiece, maybe less.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't do it off mob type or number of mob kills.
And there should be another way to do it in the raid then, or just scale the boss's health to where you don't need that much heavy ammo.
Yeah,
there's other ways around it. I guess is what I'm saying.
They got to come up with something, or it's just gonna feel bad. And then they're gonna have to put cat girls in the game to make it feel good.
Always the cat girls.
I can send resumes out. You're listening, Blizzard, Bungie, whoever. I got cat girl ideas for all of you. Just let me know.
You already got panda girls, and wow, why not cat girls?
Amen, brother. And
I'm with you.
Other fox girls too. You got foxes now.
And cat boys.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
cat people.
Let's go. So, yeah, we'll have a TWAB this Thursday. We'll see that. I think that's pretty much everything we've heard about Destiny so far this week. Path of Exile.
Yeah, it looks like, little reading between the lines or just my imagination, whichever way you want to go with it, that the new Path of Exile post smacks to me of, hey, we hired a project manager.
Well, yeah, that's basically what it says. It feels like the last couple leagues that
they've just been trying to go too ambitious, in my opinion.
No, it feels like they're the person making the decisions is like Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. Just 100 miles an hour, and we're going to switch directions every 3 seconds because it seems fucking cool now.
Well, I mean, Chris kind of addressed that in his post, right? Like, he said they want to leave time so people can put their little touches and tweaks on the league, which is good in my opinion for developers to be able to put their own little flair on things or however you want to say it. But they were letting too much of that creep in, basically.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't accounting for that time well enough, I guess. But we'll have a link if you want to read exactly what he says. But it really just, to me, was like, they talked a lot about, we're going to scope things better and we're really going to stick to the scope. And like, I'm going to be honest, I worked as a project manager for like a couple years. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I don't really give a shit about people putting their creative little cutesy touches on, because if I have another league that sucks complete ass and their main thing they go back to is, look how good the voice acting is, I'm going to uninstall that motherfucker because that is ridiculous.
But I think a lot of what makes video games great is those personal touches, right? Like, think about all the little personal touches Miyamoto put on Mario.
Yeah, you're also looking at personal touches of games that's retail model was, you give us $60, here's a finished product.
Hey, okay, even in WoW, there's a lot of personal touch by specific developers little things they wanted to put in that I think really make WoW the game it is.
Well, yeah, but WoW's also like a huge staff compared to.
Sure, so they just need to dial that number back. But I think, I don't know. To me, a game that doesn't have those little personal touches has no style, or at least less style than a game that does. Or at least it draws me in more when it feels like the game has personality.
Yeah, look, I get what you're saying. I agree with you, but GGG's last couple launches have been so bug-ridden or content-starved that I don't give a fuck. I give zero fucks about somebody wanting to put a little flair on something when doors don't even fucking open in a door-opening league.
Hey, to me, I'm going to separate this completely from Heist and just go theoretical on this one. But to me, I would rather have a slightly quirky, but yet very personality-filled game than a mechanically solid and very bland game. But that's just me personally, right? Like, I would rather have Path with all of its bugginess and weirdness at times than play Diablo 3, which never changes and is very bland to me.
If I had to give up the quirkiness for Path to run as solid and feel as fluid as Diablo 3, I would sign that paper instantly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really think about whether I'd sign that one or not. Oh, shit. Talking about Path made me remember I still need to get Monocle Cat. So I guess I'll really have to bust out the rest of my 24 challenges this week.
You're playing Watch Dogs Legion this week, right?
Yeah, comes out? Yeah, as soon as it comes out. So the 29th, I think?
Yeah, I think it comes out Friday.
So I'm going to pick that up. So I'll probably mention something about that next week. Hopefully I have time to play all this.
Yeah, November's going to have a lot of shit coming out.
Oh, yeah, it's just going to get worse for the next few months.
Yeah.
With Cyberpunk and...
Beyond Light. There's another big title in November. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
But yeah, there's something big. Well, and even into December, and how many things are getting postponed to January. Like, the next 3 to 4 months are packed.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I agree. Oh, the next-gen consoles come out next month. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Wow, we missed that one?
Just PS5 and Xbox, 12 letters and a number here.
And an Atari.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Can't wait to cryptocurrency me and Atari.
Alrighty. Anything else for the week?
No, I think that's probably about it. I think we're probably going to stream some Watch Dogs if anybody wants to come check that out. I think Friday. So twitch.tv/loot_fiends. If Twitch isn't your thing, I think we're going to record and do like a Let's Play series with it on YouTube, which is also Loot Fiends. Just come check it out and leave comments. Hit us up on Twitter and let us know anything you guys want to talk about. And I think that's pretty much it for me this week.
Yep, sounds good. See you next week, everybody.
Yep,
have a good one.